Oops, I hit us again. Here we go.
Sorry. Oh, Robbi Bear.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you notice anything?
Look, yes, you're wearing a nice shirt.
Now, why did you notice that? How many shirts do I usually wear?
Well, I only noticed because about a split second before I clicked to stream, I noticed I'm wearing exactly the same thing I was wearing yesterday. And
I have a bit of an advantage over you.
That I also wore last night. I did not change into pajamas.
Robbi, I am the person who...
It's so complicated to do the same thing every day.
I am the person who knows that this is not a normal day.
Yeah?
Yeah, something very special is happening today.
Uh-oh.
And that's why I dressed up.
I'm worried.
If I had given you some notice... No, I'm not going to ask you to marry me. I already did that. I'm not going to inform you that I'm going to have another baby, because that's never going to happen again.
Yes.
What I'm going to do is ask you to put on these hats.
Oh, both of them?
Well, no.
Or I just put on
You
one?
put on yours, and I put on mine. Now I feel a little bit better dressed for the occasion.
Of festivity?
Now, does anybody know why this is a very special day? I know that one of you out there knows why this is a very special day. Someone out there in the audience might be celebrating her 5th birthday today. It might be Adrian, and we might be singing you happy birthday because that's so exciting.
This is a surprise to me, too.
I like to surprise Robbi at every turn.
Yes, I love surprises.
I'm just guessing. I'm
surprises.
using, writers sometimes can just guess when it's people's birthdays.
Yeah, you just
and I just
felt in the
feel
ether.
like today is probably Adrian's birthday. Wouldn't you like to sing to her? Can we all sing to her? All friends out there in the ether. Robbi, someone, if your name is Mathilda, if your name is Archibald, if your name is Mr. Jorgensen, any of those, even if your name is anything else, let us sing together.
If you have a name,
to Adrian.
Please sing this song to Adrian.
Oh, somebody suggests that we should wear the chicken hat for this.
Where's the chicken hat?
It's up there.
Oh.
But, Robbi, do you want to wear the chicken hat for the birthday celebration? Okay. I'm going to wear the hat, the birthday hat, or the festivity hat.
Oops,
with the...
Everybody just saw my gut.
Your gut, I didn't see it. I'm right
belly.
here and I didn't see it. Robbi's belly is lovely. Robbi's belly is done.
Okay, we don't have to talk about my belly.
We're not going to talk about Robbi's belly. We're going to say, me, 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 me. That's what you say before you sing. Yeah, you do.
Okay.
That chicken is facing forward. Everybody together collectively on the count of now. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Adrian. Happy birthday to you. Quicker this time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Adrian. Happy birthday to you. Why didn't you join me that time, Robbi?
I didn't know if that was excessive, but since you just kept on going with
there
it.
There is no excessive when it comes to celebrating Adrian's day of birth. That's my stance, and I'm sticking to it.
All right.
Thank you for joining us on your birthday, Adrian, if in fact you have. I hope you're there. All right. Did you sing happy birthday, Adrian? Drink water. Every day, you guys. Every day, several times a day.
Multiple times a day.
We're going to drink water together every day. I hope you have your glasses.
To your health.
Cheers to your health,
That's
to
what
our
they say.
health.
And I think
Salud!
Salud. And in Germany, they say Prost. And in Japan, they say Kanpai.
Get to it, Robbi. I know it takes you 45 minutes to drink a glass of water. You better get started if you're going to finish before the end of this live cast. We tell you about the good old days. You guys, you know one thing I didn't do?
No.
Is I didn't get the copy of the book we're going to read today off my desk. So do you want me to get it while you riff?
Well,
or
no,
the other
you're
way
telling
around?
them about the good old days.
The good old days. You guys...
I don't know about these good old days.
Well, maybe it's best if Robbi's not here for the good old days. Once upon a time, Robbi and I did not make books together. For the first 2 years of our being together as friends that spent a lot of time together, we didn't make books together. We took walks in the woods, and we made sandwiches, and we sometimes sang songs on the guitar, but we never made books together until one day. What do you mean?
I never made a sandwich with you.
Oh, Robbi thinks that maybe she didn't make a sandwich with me. That's probably true. I was probably making sandwiches for Robbi while she sat loungedly on a chair, waggling her finger at me, as she was wont to do. One day, Robbi was reading my weird little stories, and she was like, you know what? These stories could benefit from some pictures. As is, they are tragically flawed, incomplete, and not quite good. But I can make them better with my mighty pen. And so we did. Did you do the things that we talked about earlier, doing the drawing?
Yes,
okay.
I did.
Awesome. I just wanted to make sure before I entice the children and other people with promises. In any case, Robbi and I started making books together kind of accidentally. We made some books together while we were living in Massachusetts. Then we went to graduate school. Robbi took a class called How to Illustrate Children's Books. But you know what, guys? She didn't have a children's book to illustrate. So she pointed at me and said, stop making sandwiches for a minute and start writing a children's book. And I did. And that's the book that we're going to read to you today. The very first children's book we made.
It's an ancient tome.
Back in 2004.
Back from 2004.
I still like it a lot, you guys.
Long before you were even conceived.
It was before time even started.
Yeah.
There wasn't even time back then. There were dinosaurs, and there was primordial ooze.
Everybody had to speak on walkie-talkies.
Robbi reads My Henderson Robot. So we're going to read a book to you called My Henderson Robot. I don't know why I wrote this book. This book doesn't have a plot. There are many reasons not to love this book, and yet we do.
I love this book.
I know. I'm just saying there's many reasons not to.
There's many more reasons to love this book.
Can you show it to the people? Oh, there it is. Okay. No cover here. We're just diving right in.
Wait. That was one thing I was not entirely prepared for.
Okay.
Can you press Command L, please?
Command L.
It hasn't happened to them yet.
Wasn't that exciting?
Now they.
All right, guys. That's the cover of My Henderson Robot. See how that little girl is painting the My? We thought that was really cool and innovative back then.
No.
Yeah, we did. We didn't? We didn't think it was cool and innovative?
We thought it was cool and innovative. Oh. It was cute.
I thought it was cool and innovative. Robbi thought it was cute and paired well with sandwiches. All right. Are you ready? Robbi's going to read My Henderson Robot by Matthew Swanson. We went over yesterday how my first name needs 4 syllables in order to work in a certain haiku. And here goes. Robbi, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Brace yourselves, friends.
But I'm going to click the first page because see that green bar up there in order to make that go away. All right.
Oh, okay, there we go.
So
proceed.
Now you can go from here.
Proceed.
I found him in the back of the garage the other day. I was surprised to see him because he looked like the water heater, which is supposed to be in the basement. But there he was, dusty and sad. I washed him with my blue towel and got in trouble with Mom. Dad was mad at first because I'm not supposed to touch anything made of metal. Then he saw the Henderson robot and started crying. Dad kissed and hugged the Henderson robot. The Henderson robot didn't like that much. That is not how Dad kissed him, Matthew.
Well, I was just... see how I get scolded?
Yeah, you're giving the wrong impression of this book.
Fair enough.
Dad knew the Henderson robot when he was a boy. They used to play games together. Games like Chase and Catch and 3-Round Battle. Where have you been for so long? Dad asks. The Henderson robot says he's been standing in the garage since Dad was 11 years old, waiting to finish their game of hide and seek. That's so sad. I'm glad I found him. I wonder if he has a stomach, and so I ask him. He has a lot of green and blue wires, he says, and a small plastic fan to keep his insides cool. That's much better than a stomach, I say. I want to ride the Henderson robot like a tank, up the hill and down the other side. He is wary of the plan, but it works out fine. Fire your cannon, I say. Bang, bang, he says. It is nice of him to try. The Henderson robot does not have thumbs. All he can do is poke things with his 2 fingers. He cannot travel rough terrain. He has to watch while we swim in the pool. It's hard to be an old robot without a jetpack for easy maneuvering. We're going to Grandma's and I want to bring the Henderson robot. Dad says okay, but not Mom. The car's too small, she says. The Henderson robot is willing to ride in the trunk, but Mom fills it up with soup cans and toilet paper rolls so there's no room. He has to stay behind, and I have a terrible time at Grandma's. Cousin Jeff will not believe about the Henderson robot, so I pinch his arm. The Henderson robot has 1 red eye and 1 blue eye. They are both supposed to be red, he tells me, but there you go. I try to find another red eye for him, but I can't. I show him my big brown mole, and he feels better. The Henderson robot is my friend. I wonder all about him. Does he miss his mom? Where is his toothbrush? Does it snow where he comes from? Or maybe does egg salad fall from the sky? Sometimes when the other, faster, stronger robots come by, we hide under the porch and eat chocolates. At night, the Henderson robot waits by my closet door to keep any monsters out. He keeps his blue eye open so I can know where he is. He shuts his red eye so it can get some rest.
It's not in the PDF for some reason. Interesting.
Oh.
That's okay. That's okay. It's not a problem.
I messed that up.
It's okay.
The Henderson robot does not know how to read, and neither do I. But I teach him about the number 5, which is my favorite number. He says that he prefers the number 2. Do robots need to go to the doctor, I wonder? I open up his control panel and see that the glass tubes are all empty. I fill them up with bottles from the garage. Suddenly, the Henderson robot has amazing new powers. I think we should play hide and seek. The Henderson robot looks worried. I tell him it will be fun, that it's a great game. I hide. He finds me. He hides. I find him. It is a great game. He is my robot. The Henderson robot tries to teach me to stand on one foot. It is not easy. He laughs a little when I keep falling over. Then he says he's sorry. When I finally do it, we eat pickles to celebrate. Sometimes Dad wants to play with me and the Henderson robot. When we take an ocean voyage, Dad drives the ship, but he does not pay attention, and we almost get eaten by a giant octopus. After that, the Henderson robot drives, and Dad peels potatoes. The Henderson robot does not know about birthdays. Mom and I bake him a cake, but he can't blow out the candles. I sing happy birthday, but he says he'd rather hear row, row, row your boat. We did not ask Adrian if she wanted to hear row, row, row your boat.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Adrian, we like you very much now that you are 5. Perfect rhyme.
Yes. I give him a blue bouncy ball, and we bounce it until dinner. When my brother is born someday soon, I wonder if the Henderson robot will like him. The Henderson robot does not think he will. Babies are very bald, he says, and very wrinkly. The Henderson robot grabs a stick from the ground, waves it like a sword, and suddenly we are pirates. The Henderson robot and I have a fight about dinosaurs. I want to go to bed, but he says we have to make up first. Every morning I wake up, and there he is. We have a whole day again. The Henderson robot had a dream last night, and it gave him a great idea. Today, he says, we're going to go looking for rubber bands. I eat my breakfast and put on my boots. I look out the window, and it's raining, but I don't care. The Henderson robot doesn't mind holding the umbrella. We step outside. The sky is green. It is hours until lunch.
That's the end of the Henderson robot, you guys. Like I said, not so much for plot, more of a mood piece, more about the relationship. Tell the people, Robbi,
yes,
where we got the idea for the Henderson robot and the little girl talking about dinosaurs. Did you have a conversation about dinosaurs in your youth?
Yes, when I was little and we used to spend our summers up in Alaska, my brother and my sister and I all shared a room that was like pitch black because there were no windows in it. And we would lie in bed at night.
It sounds so barbaric.
Yeah.
It's just how it was.
We would lie in bed and try to think of things to talk about.
In the darkness.
In the dark, before we fell asleep. And often it was dinosaurs. I'd say, what do you guys want to talk about? And somebody would say, how about dinosaurs?
I mean...
And then we'd talk about dinosaurs.
Among all the topics that you could choose...
Dinosaurs was like a repeat...
It could be worse.
It was a common theme.
Oh, Robbi, you got the last page's beautiful pictures and words.
Pictures and words. You got that too.
You guys didn't play your theme song.
Oh, no.
You just answered my second question. We're missing a lot of chatter over here.
Yeah.
Robbi, I'm going to read... Yes, it's not on the agenda. I'm going to insert... We had a reader-submitted haiku. Somebody wrote a haiku.
Are we not playing the theme song?
Well, we could. That's not on the agenda either. So either one of them could happen first.
I feel like we should play
theme
the
song. Then you review the commentary while I look at the haiku.
All
right. 1, 2, 3.
The Robbi and Matthew Show.
I mean, it never fails to delight me. I had a conversation with Drew yesterday where he offered to shorten the theme song so that it wouldn't throw us off because he knows how feeble-minded we are, and he wanted to make sure that he was doing everything he could to make our lives more pleasant. But I said, no, Drew. This is a chance for me to grow as a person, as an artist, as a Matthew. All right. This is a reader-submitted haiku.
Excellent.
That goes to show you that the most important thing about haiku is following the structure of Jack Kerouac, and not necessarily making a lot of sense to me. This might make a lot of sense to you. I'm going to read it with as much poetic integrity as I can. Shark, fart, poop, flunky.
Wait. Shark, fart, poop, flunky. Okay.
Harpy, slurp, toot, whack, Yoda. I added my own sense of pause there. Harpy, slurp, toot, whack, Yoda. Warps for plunky, A. Warps for plunky, A. Let's have it all together now. Sharp, fart, poop, flunky. Harpy, slurp, toot, whack, Yoda. Warps for plunky, A. There's lots of different ways you could have emphasized that or structured the cadence of it. I wish the poet were here himself to read it for us. I did my best.
I think that's the beauty of this poem.
That is the beauty of this poem.
It has many, many interpretations.
I would like someone to set it to music. If you know someone capable of doing such a thing, and I would like whoever sets it to music to hold the last note a little bit longer than I expect. Okay?
I feel like maybe you should set it to music.
All right, Robbi,
if we can't get a professional to do it.
Have you reviewed the?
I have. You know what? There's lots of jokes.
Let's hold on the jokes.
Okay.
I have a reader submitted essay to read also. Another reader was asked to write an essay for his school homework on his favorite fruit. And his father encouraged him to not just answer what is a pretty simple question and not really necessarily essay-worthy, with a bit of imagination, or at least his own personal creative volition. My favorite fruit is an orange. My least favorite fruit is a papaya. If I could make a fruit, it would be a mix of an orange, a lime, and a cherry. I would call it tyrant fruit. It would taste sour and sweet. It can be found on Jalco 6 coordinate YT-84. Jalco 6 is in the Luxion system. Tyrant fruit has spread across the Verde galaxy. Tyrant fruit can be turned into medicine. Its nickname is the king of fruits. The tyrant's fruit's closest relative is the purple horn snare, aka flare bulb. However, the flare bulb is very sour and rubbery. The tyrant fruit grows on the mulberry tree. Tyrant fruit is the Derrick's favorite food. There you have it. That is an excellent use of the imagination.
I love that.
I think someone should set that essay to music. I'm just saying. I have various strong opinions about that.
I think that essay is perfect as it is.
It is. It might not need a bit of any sort of augmentation.
I just want to say.
Yeah.
One of Augie's assignments, Augie's in second grade, one of his assignments is a research paper. I feel like he should just write about tyrant fruit for his research paper.
No, he should do his own version. I think he should falsify everything about tigers. He's supposed to write about tigers, but imaginary tigers more interesting. I realize, Robbi, we have an activity plan that's going to take a little bit of time. Unless you want to indulge these questions first, remember we have some things to do over there.
Okay.
This is the part of our collaboration where Matthew pays attention to schedule and Robbi pays attention to nothing.
Zero.
So we're going to get to your questions if there's time after the exciting demonstration. So what Robbi's going to do, you guys, is show you how we made my Henderson robot. It's a 2-part creative process.
Oh wait, I want to show you this.
Oh, look at this. Our friend, actually Robbi's friend, she lets me borrow her from time to time, Melissa/Ming, bringer of gummy bears and shoe fly pie. Is it knit?
No,
is it crochet?
Crochet
Look
a
at
Henderson
this.
robot.
Holy heck. And look, it's a little working control panel.
And
it's amazing.
It has one red eye and one blue eye.
Unbelievable.
Just like the Henderson robot.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that the cutest thing ever?
I'm going to make you dizzy for a moment while I lift the camera.
Oh, wait.
Robbi's
before you get everyone dizzy, I got to get my papers.
All right. What are some, Robbi, do you remember the questions I'm supposed to answer, which I can do right here?
There weren't any questions.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, somebody said you just answered.
Lots of jokes.
Lots of jokes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. What's happening here? Are you going to do it right here?
Well, I thought so.
All right. I thought you were going to do it over there. Got it. All right. So you guys, Robbi is going to show us the technique that she uses to create some of her illustrations, and she used to create all of the My Henderson robot illustrations.
All right.
This is not something she did very much. Did you do these for the Bobbly books? You did, didn't you?
I did.
Then you scanned them in. So pretty much all the books we've read to you, the main characters were drawn in this way, which is what, Robbi? What do you call this?
Pen and ink.
All right. Well, they don't know that.
You should point the camera to something that actually is. There we go.
Whoa. There nothing was for the time. There was nothing. Now there is
All right,
something.
so I'm going to show you guys how I draw the Henderson robot.
Yeah.
But of course I haven't drawn him in a while, and I don't really remember all
This
the
is what we
details.
call creative disclaimer, you
Yeah.
guys. All right.
So I think, I'm going to draw his head first.
So, Robbi, what are you doing?
So this is a pen and ink. So you have to, Matthew, point with your... Okay, so point to... Here we go.
Would you like me to do the illustration and you hold the camera?
I would. I'm trying to show the inkwell. So there we go. So I have an inkwell. It has a bunch of ink in it. And I dip my little quill pen in there. And you see the... here we go. There's a nib. This is called a nib. And I have a super... which means that it bends a lot. So when I draw, if you look at it, it can do a wide line, it can do a skinny line, it can do a wide line, it can do a skinny line. So it's... what I really like about it is that it's super flexible and it does a good job of being a little bit variable, which is a lot harder to get on the computer. So, but it's a little hard to control because sometimes it puts down more ink than you want. See over here, I got a big blob of ink over here that I'm going to have to contend with. Oops, and then it also filled in his head there.
I imagine,
there's
like anything,
his
it's something that
eyes.
takes a lot of practice.
It does.
And if you haven't done it in a while, it takes a little getting back used to it
Yeah,
again.
but what I also like is see how it's making this line a little heavier over here? So it looks a bit like there's a little bit of a shadow, right? So the light line over here looks like, oh, that's in the bright light, and over here it looks like there's a little ridge.
And can you do that purposefully?
You can, but I didn't. That was an accident.
There he is. See, this is why some people mistake him for a water heater, because he kind of looks like
he's
one.
got this cylindrical body.
Yeah.
And then he has a little seam down here with some rivets.
Like a water heater does, weirdly.
Like a water
Yeah.
heater. And then he's got these two long arms with the two, his two fingers. I'll have this one going up in this direction. The trick with these quill pens is that most of the time you have to pull the pen towards you. So this would be pushing it, and look what happens when you push it.
Ooh,
So sometimes
splattery.
it bends the little tines the wrong direction. So if you pull it, it makes lines, and if you push it, it splatters. So sometimes I do want it to splatter, but that's just one of the tricks, is that you have to learn how to pull all of your lines instead of like with a pencil, you can sort of scribble both ways.
In my Henderson robot, Robbi did everything with pen and ink. If you guys remember from some of the other Bobbledy books, she would scan her characters after drawing them and painting them like this, and then she would put them into an environment that she created digitally on the computer. So see that stuff off to the side where Robbi scratched and did that little demonstration? If she wanted to put this illustration into a book, she would just not pick that part. She would edit it out with the computer.
Yeah, I would just clear that out. And so I think in the finals he had some little like rusty bits and like.
Oh, because he's so old. He's been down there
He's not a shiny
for
robot.
so long.
And then I always like to do my shadows as sort of like a big scratchy scribbly mark like that.
Ah, I love it. Look at those splatters that come. They're
right?
so
It just makes
wonderful.
it a little bit more sort of active with his shadow like that. Okay?
All right, now can you show us
So,
part 2 of the
Now I'll
process?
show you part 2 of the process. I drew one of these. Oh, one thing that you always have to do is clean your nib out, because if that ink gets stuck in there,
If it gets crusty.
it gets crusty, and then you get really sad, and you have to throw away that nib.
Oh, I don't even want you to know what it looks like when Robbi gets sad.
Yeah.
Throws away your nib.
Okay.
All right.
So I did one of these earlier so that I could paint it. He looks a little different because I forgot how he looked.
Oh, there he is.
There he
Look at
is.
that, Robbi. Robbi
Okay.
planned ahead.
I did. I did this about 3 minutes before we had to go on.
So it must dry pretty fast in that case.
So it does dry pretty fast. Well, I have quick drying ink.
We have about 5 minutes left
Okay,
in
that's
terms
not going
of...
to take more than 5 minutes.
Cool.
So I'm going to paint this. I usually use... of course, I didn't try to find a paintbrush.
Oh.
Here we go. I usually use just a regular number 5 round paintbrush.
Okay. Something you get at a craft store?
And the paints that I use I like to use gouache. Now, gouache is kind of like watercolor. So it comes in a tube. Sometimes it comes in a tube or it comes in a pan. But what it is it's not transparent. You know, if you do watercolor, it's very transparent, so it's see-through. Gouache is a little bit thicker, so you don't have to put down as much paint in order to get stuff to shine through. So those are the gouaches, but actually what I have here is my paint pan, which looks like a mess, but it's actually in pretty good shape.
Okay. You'll have to take our word for it.
There's actually a cover for it, so that when we had cats, their hair would settle in this if I left it open. But I've since lost the lid somewhere because our cats are not a problem.
I bet Matthew threw the lid away not realizing what it was.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing I did.
So over here I have this. I filled this up with a sort of Henderson robot is not.
It's not flesh colored.
It's
yeah.
not flesh colored. I actually.
Robbi forgot who she was drawing.
Drawing somewhere. What color is Henderson robot? Is he green?
What color is Henderson robot? Where's the book?
No, I don't know.
Let's just go off.
Here,
let's
paint
make him whatever
green.
color we want to. Okay.
So it's pretty simple. There's nothing too tricky about
There's
it.
a difference between simple and easy, though, my friends. Don't feel bad if you try it and it doesn't work as well as it seems to when Robbi does it. She's had a lot of practice. Look at that.
So we just fill them in, and sometimes I like to leave a little bit undone. I don't like it to be like exactly perfect sometimes. And I have this. See, I have this pre-mixed shadow color, which is like a blue-black. So.
And why do you add shadows?
Well, because it makes them look a little bit rounder.
Because he's supposed to be round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm not the best at like caring about exactly where shadows go, which I think probably drives some people crazy.
If you're sitting there literally tearing out your hair because of how
Yeah.
Robbi's drawing her shadows, apologies. Oh, there's his arm.
I don't think he's green. Is he green?
Dude, I don't remember, but he doesn't look right.
He doesn't look
Where's
right.
the model? He's green in the model.
He's green in the model.
But his arms are lighter than his body in the model. So, who knows?
I'm going to paint his head gray.
Like I said, we made this book approximately 17 years ago, friends, so Robbi can be forgiven for not remembering such details.
Well, I could look and use a reference
like
if
your,
I were...
your eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little rushed, so...
I totally. Someone is rushing you.
He has one green eye and one blue eye, right?
Oh, right. I'm going to try to get close so we can see this. It's even sharp. It's even focused for the time being.
But as soon as I put my brush in there, it's going to change.
No, it's good. Okay, look at his eye.
Oops.
Oh.
So
now he got punched in the eye. He's been in a fight.
So ordinarily I would wait for his little head paint to dry before I tried to color his eyes.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Robbi.
So there's that.
Yeah. Now he's going to get a little bit of a...
I'm going to get his tire filled in.
Nice. Look at that. Don't you wish you were an illustrator? You are an illustrator. All you have to do to be an illustrator is illustrate. Look at that. She's making the shadow a little smudgy. I mean, not the shadow. What do we call that? The base, the floor, the ground. I love it. Thank you, Robbi.
There you go.
All right.
No, we're out of time.
We are out of time. What were you going to do? So
I was going to show you how to paint the cheeks on the little girl.
Well, let's do that another day. We have many days to come. We might even read this book again someday.
Oh, look, his body is green, but his arms are orange.
Oh, well, gosh, if anyone was paying attention. But Melissa didn't make them orange, so she probably made it the closest to orange.
It's all her fault.
Robbi draws pen and ink, Robbi draws watercolors. We sing to Adrienne again because it's still her birthday and she's still 5. We could sing to you constantly until midnight if you want to. Let us know if you want.
Nope.
No? You won't do that?
I have things to do.
I will. I will sing it in my head and in my heart, Adrienne. Thank you for being here with us every single day.
Yay.
Especially your 5th birthday.
Yay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Adrienne. Happy birthday to you. I'm sorry we didn't get to your jokes, friends. Bring them tomorrow.
No. We have a minute left for jokes. Come on now. Oh, and there's even a haiku.
Oh my gosh, we have another haiku? Where is it?
Robbi and Matthew bringing fun and love to all creative masters.
Nice! Oh, it's a flattering haiku.
A complimentary
I love that.
haiku.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Hold on.
One joke.
Jokes. Why did the seagull fly over the sea? This is from Mr. Funny Pants.
Why did the seagull fly over the sea? Because only the Little Mermaid can be under the sea?
No.
Because he has wings and didn't want to get them wet?
No.
What?
You're not even trying.
What?
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels. Ah, that's a good one. Wait, that's a good one.
All right.
I thought that was a good one.
All right.
Yes.
All right, friends.
All right.
We will see you tomorrow or in 5 minutes
we'll see
or
you
in
in 5 minutes.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
We're going to have to start rip-roaring soon. Goodbye. We love you. Happy birthday, Adrian.
Adrian.
Woo!